Right, so yeah, I haven't been recording for a while, so I'm back after a long break since I was busy with my school assignments and stuff. But yeah, I'm back, and I'm pretty much done with most of my school assignments. So yeah, as you guys could tell, like there's the new boss right here, and yeah, update 1.3 just came out like a couple of hours ago. When I say a couple of hours, I mean like 9 hours ago, but you get what I mean. Uh, and Zhongli is absolutely broken. So if you guys don't know what happened to Zhongli, let me just open him up. His basic attacks basically do more damage right now because it scales off his HP, like his maximum amount of HP, and it takes like a percentage of it and converts it into additional damage to his basic attacks. His E basically like it reduces interruption. So when you're popping your E, you get interrupted less. So you can get hit and Zhongli will just stand there most of the time. Like he won't get interrupted. And then his pillars do more damage now. And it scales off his max HP as well. It's a percentage just like his regular attacks. And his out, I actually don't remember what happened to his out. I think his out made it so that he does more damage with max HP. I'm not too sure about his out. I don't remember, but I just know that his E is absolutely broken because his E, right, he does more damage with the pillars when they resonate right now. And on top of that, when you have his shield up, right, he reduces physical as well as elemental resistance of all enemies that are surrounding him by like 15% or something. 20%, okay, even better. And they made it so that once you like whenever you hold E now, right, you would instead like get a shield and a pillar instead of just the shield itself. So yeah, that makes it easier for you to put down your pillar and have the shield together, because if you wanted to do that in the past, you would have had to wait an additional like 3 seconds or something, because there's like the cooldown of your E of 4 seconds. So yeah, if you wanted to get a pillar down and a shield down in the past, you would have like had to wait an additional 4 seconds if you put down your pillar first. So this just makes the process faster. And on top of that, right, the shield actually got changed. If I'm not wrong, if I remember correctly, it used to be 250% damage absorption against like just geo damage, right? Which meant that his geo shield, right, like his shield would be very potent when it comes to facing against geo damage. But geo damage is pretty niche, as it's only one element, and physical resistance is not included. So they changed it so that it basically absorbs all kinds of damage, because physical and elemental damage, it basically covers every single type of damage in the game as of now. So it went from a 250% damage absorption against one class to 150% damage absorption to all the classes. So this is a really good change as well, which basically made it so that his shield is stronger, since most of the time you will not be facing geo enemies. And what the buffs entail is that, you know how Zhongli was a shielder, so he provides shields and he supports because he increases the survivability of your team. On top of that, he doesn't do the most damage with his the pillars resonating damage, but right now it basically gives you like more utility than previously, and it makes it so that you get all your stuff out faster. His out is a massive crowd control. It petrifies everything in like a pretty large radius, and it deals decent amount of damage. But right now, he used to be a damage. He used to be a burst support, a shielder, and a tanker, right? Right now, he is a shielder. He provides shields. He can tank. He can crowd control. He can do decent amount of damage, like even more than previously. On top of that, he's a damage buffer. he's a damage buffer now as well. Because of his E, the shield that decreases physical and elemental resistance of all opponents in the AoE by 20%. That is huge, by the way. I'll show you guys the difference, okay? I unfortunately do not have gameplay of my Klee pre Zhongli buffs. But as you can see, I have level 8 talents. I have a level 8 talent on Klee's regular attack. So that's somewhat decently leveled. And I'm going to show you guys the stats. I have 56% crit rate. Pretty much, just take it as 200% crit damage and like 107% pyro damage bonus on my Klee. So, as you can see, my Klee is pretty stacked, right? 2.1k attack could be higher, but overall, she's pretty stacked, okay? I'ma show you guys the numbers on my Klee first, and then I'll tell you guys the difference. Because unfortunately, I do not have gameplay of my Klee in the past, so. I probably should have gotten my banner out before the showcase, but let me just get my banner out real quick. Let's get this out and then 10k auto, 27k charge, swap back to Zhongli, get my shield, 9k auto, no banner buff, give me back my ult. I'm gonna just get back my shield again and then I'm gonna rotate it to banner out. And then he 13k, 13k, 12k auto, 13k auto. Okay. Alright. That damage is pretty good, right? You'd think that I have a really stacked banner. You'd think I'll have a really stacked banner, okay? If you guys don't know how Banner's ult works, right? His ult is level 8, so it's up there, okay? But his ult, the damage he gives, right, from his ult, the damage buff, it scales off. I don't think it says here. Does it? I'm not sure if it says here, but basically the damage he provides comes from his base attack. If you don't know what base attack is, right, it is the character level as well as his weapon, okay? It does not include his artifacts. I know my banner has like decent amount of attack and I have attack pieces here, but that's because I don't have like other pieces for a healing banner. But trust me, the attack you get, right, from these kind of the attack percentages, these are like, you just look at it as like additional like percentages and not like his base attack. These do not account to his damage transfer, like a damage buff that he gives from his ult. This doesn't increase like basically anything, like any attack bonus, like any attack percentage or flat attack gained from artifacts do not count towards the damage buff he gives from his ult. It's just his character levels, like from leveling up, as well as his weapon. His weapon right here is a 4-star weapon, the black sword. It's level 90, so it gives a decent amount of attack, but you can get higher attack with a 5-star sword. 510 isn't bad, but yeah, this is a 4-star weapon, so it could be higher. And he's level 70 out of 80, so his base attack could be even higher. So his damage provided could be even higher. You saw like 12k, 13k autos. Previously when I did, like my previous run, I got like 14k. I got a 14k auto attack. And then my charge stat was hitting for over 30k. Just to give a comparison, my Klee, I don't know if that Geo boss has like any sort of like resistance or anything. But I'm talking about like regular enemies here, okay? Like the weak curly trolls. My autos were hitting for like 10k. Like at its peak, it was hitting for like 10k, okay? And then the charge attack, without any elemental reactions or anything, was hitting for around 20k. I hit a 30 plus thousand crit before this recording on the same boss. 30 over 1000. I've never hit 30,000 without the Zhongli buffs. Like not even close. Like my highest was like probably like 26,000. Yeah, you can see how there's a massive increase in damage. I hit a 38k somehow. I don't know how, but I think I like some lost prayer stacks. I hit 38k with banners out. Like 38k with banners out active, and I did a charge attack with Klee and I hit for 38k. My highest was like 26k pre-buffs. So you can see how insane these buffs are. And her auto attack went from 10,000 per hit, like at its peak. I'm pretty sure 10,000 a hit, right, previously was with banners out as well. And that was with like full lost prayer stacks, okay? You could see how I was switching in and out of characters. And I still managed to hit like 12.9k autos with Klee. Which is like, I mean, if you round it up, it's like 13k. It's like a 3,000 damage increase. And that's without like much lost prayer stacks. Like without many lost prayer stacks. It was probably like 1 stack and like maybe 2 stacks at most, because you gain 1 stack every 4 seconds. So yeah, there'll be like 2 stacks at most. But it stacks up to 4 times if you leave her in the field for 16 seconds. So I was getting an additional 32% elemental damage bonus, and I was hitting for 10k. Like pre-buffs, I was hitting for like damn near 13k right there, and I've hit 14k in my previous run, because I think I left my Klee out for longer and I didn't really like switch around much. And plus, I auto with banner, right, and then I auto attacked and I hit 14k, which means that like it wasn't even max lost prayer stacks, because the thing is that the banner's out, right. If I'm not wrong, it lasts for like 10 seconds or so, which means that I was maximum getting an additional 16% elemental damage bonus only. So if I was able to hit 14k with just 16%, imagine 32%. I'll probably hit for like 14.5, 15,000 at least, I would say. She'll probably hit like 15,000 attacks on regular crits. So yeah, this I really thought Zhongli was really good before the buffs, but these buffs just really skyrocketed him. He didn't really do much damage, by the way, because my artifacts aren't that great. This is decent. This is actually pretty good. And then this one is pretty good as well. But I'm building him for like a burst support. So I'm building him as a burst support, so he doesn't really do that much damage. I gave him HP percentage on the 3rd piece. For 4th piece I gave him 0 damage. And for the 5th piece I gave him HP. Because I don't know why, I've spent like 3,000-4,000 resin minimum. 3,000-4,000. I haven't gotten a single good crit damage hit piece yet. Like not even one. Like in actuality, right, it's not just for this dungeon. I haven't actually gotten a good crit damage hit piece in general. Like I've never gotten one for any set. So yeah. So I ran with HP. At least it has some crit damage here, which is pretty decent, I guess. I alternate between the HP piece and the attack piece. Honestly, in terms of damage difference, right, between these two pieces, right, I honestly don't see much of a difference. Like, the difference in out, right, pre-buffs were like 1,000, 2,000 damage increase when I went for the attack piece. Might have been because I have like almost 20% crit damage here, and then 13% crit damage here, so it's kind of skewed. And plus I have like HP percentage here, which scales towards his out damage as well. So yeah. But yeah, overall I would say he still runs better with crit damage if you're planning on using him as a burst support, because you hit significantly harder with his ults. But if you want to run him as just a supporter, because once again he now kinda acts as a pseudo damage buffer since he lowers resistance. Obviously when you lower resistance you do more damage, right? So it's pretty similar to buffing your characters. So he basically acts as a pseudo buffer right now. If you want to run him as like a shield support, like a shield provider, to keep your team alive as well as a damage buffer, you do not really need to run him with crit damage. You can actually run him with HP, because the more HP he has, the stronger his shields are, which means that your damage carries or actual DPS characters can survive for longer on the field and do more consistent DPS and not have to worry about dying as much. So I would say if you're running him as a supporter, not a burst support damage dealer, then I would say HP would probably be the best, but I'll still have to do some testing. But yeah, this is what I'm thinking right now. You wanna run HP on this, on the third piece, on the sands, and then HP on this piece. But if you want him to have slightly more damage, right? You want his out to hit harder, then it will be better if you go for crit damage, because that will significantly increase your damage. This piece, you pretty much always want to run geo damage unless you literally like you do not care for his out damage at all. If that's the case, if you really just want to build him purely for support, then I guess you can go for max HP. But to be honest, I think geo damage bonus is still better lah, because you can see the difference. Okay, I have a geo damage piece right here. Right, yes, 11% HP, so there's a decent amount of HP scaling over here. But all in all, it's still a geo damage bonus piece. But I can swap over since I have a HP. I have a max HP piece. Okay, let me try to find it. I think it's this one. Yep. Max HP, right? So I switch over and I have, how much do I have? I have 40,000 HP. If you guys don't remember, I had 35,000, I believe, with the geo damage piece. 5,000 max HP does make a difference when it comes to the out damage, but if you're talking about out damage specifically, the 46% geo damage bonus would provide a lot more than the 5,000 additional HP. So yeah, but if you, oh no, god damn it, I didn't claim it. I didn't know those guys expired, bro. So I actually have to run it again because I'm farming materials. I'm farming the shirts for Hu Tao. But yeah, back to the topic. I would say that if you really do not care about his out damage, then you can run full HP. But if you care about the damage somewhat and want him to be a really good shield provider, you can run geo damage on that piece and his shields will still be more than enough. So yeah, I don't want to drag this on for too long. Oh yeah, wait, before I end this, I just want to talk about his sets now. You can run Retracing Bolide 4-piece, you can run, but if you really want to build him as full support, you can run 4-piece Arcade Petra to increase the damage of your elemental damage dealers. You can run 4-piece Noblesse Oblige. If no one on your team already runs the 4-piece, to increase your party's attack after casting is out. You can run 2-piece Bloodstain, 2-piece Gladiator if you really want to build a physical, if you really want to build him as physical damage, since his regular attacks actually do more damage now, since his E from the shield from his E pro reduces the physical damage resistance, and his auto attack scaling got buffed since there's a max HP scaling. So right now physical Zhongli is better. To be honest, Zhongli as a whole got better, not just his physical damage, but if you really wanted to build him for physical damage Zhongli got buffed as well. So if you want to run that, you can, but honestly I'll prefer him as a support. So you do you. You can build him for physical damage if you want to, it's just that I don't entirely recommend it. So yeah, as for talents, I would say max out his Q first, followed by his E. His E is actually really strong right now as well. So yeah, I would say these two are the priority. His regular attacks aren't really that important, since I do not really recommend physical damage strongly, and you pretty much only use physical attacks. You pretty much only attack with him if you are building him as a main DPS physical damage carry. So I would say this is the last of your priority. And yeah, my Zhongli is concentration 0 because I ain't a whale. So yeah, I don't want to drag it on any further. Yep, as you can see, level 85 and I have a level 90 deathmatch. So nothing too crazy. I do not have a 5-star weapon or anything. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.